Alright, here we go. Wrestling Opinions number 4. And, is it right number 4? Oh, wait. Backtrack. Yes, it is. Okay. Alright, so here goes Smackdown. Review. We're legit not even 10 minutes removed after Smackdown has ended. I wrote down everything here. Have the notes. Quick, note here, actually. I don't think Bischoff was booking this. Yes, there's some usual stuff that we won't see. That we wouldn't see as of late. So it was like some minor stuff that we would like see, like what Raw produced, but it wasn't really nothing to really write home about. Not really too edgy, I guess you could say. Because Bischoff is apparently going to run SmackDown starting the 16th, which will be the first SmackDown after Extreme Rules. So it wasn't as good as Raw, actually. Surprisingly enough. But either way, it was still a solid show, to be fair. Finn Balor, the Intercontinental Champion, was not showcased. Neither was Shinsuke. Of course, Shinsuke and Balor had a whole backstage confrontation last week, and they didn't really build upon that this episode. So that's the one really thing that really does piss me off. But let's get on with it here. So we got a recap of the Braun and Bobby segment, the spots, the explosions. I said everything about it in the Raw review. So yeah, and it's announced that we would take a look that Lashley should give his thoughts on that or whatever, blah blah. Basically, it's just a whole Twitter video he did. So the Kevin Owens show is hosted by good old KO Kevin Owens with special guests Drew McIntyre and Shane McMahon. We got a quick recap of the Undertaker segment from last night on Raw, which, to be fair, I probably praised a little bit too much. In recap, it wasn't the greatest. There were some flaws with it, and I didn't really point out those flaws in yesterday's review, but there were some flaws. I made it sound way too good than what it actually was, to be fair, in retrospect, so that's kind of my bad. Anyway, so we get a recap of that segment. Owen starts to act like a face, sort of, because like the way he's like trying to he's mocking Shane, basically saying how Shane was actually scared of Taker. He keeps replaying some clips showing that Shane and McIntyre retreated once Taker made his way to a ring, all good stuff. And so now Dolph Ziggler comes down. And basically, Owens here. Owens just stops Ziggler before he can even say anything, and then he does he just basically berates Ziggler, saying how, you're just gonna say how it should have been you and them, blah blah. So basically, we know how the segment went. Owens says all that stuff, and don't get me wrong, I am a Ziggler mark, kind of. On my Instagram, it legit says Ziggler Rollins Jericho mark. So yeah, so I do love Ziggler, but what Owen said was kind of true about Ziggler. Sadly, very, very sadly, hate to admit that. So we're now going to get a bar type situation, because Shane now says that Owen and Ziggler will team up against Heavy Machinery. Winner will face off for the SmackDown Tag Titles, which will make it a triple threat tag at Extreme Rules between Bryan and Rowan, defending it against Xavier Woods and Big E of the New Day. So that will be later on tonight. Will Ziggler and Owens get along? We shall see. And so, yeah, and to be fair, for me, Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler, they're a fucking dream team. It could be like a next case of the bar where Sheamus and Cesaro originally didn't get along, and then they slowly start to, get along, and then they become a great tag team for a good period of time. They win multiple tag titles. It's good. It's good for them. So I feel like that's gonna be this type of situation. Obviously, the way SmackDown ended, it's not gonna happen anytime soon. It's gonna be a slow build up. Well, at least I hope so. Because of course 2016 we had a whole Ambrose, Ziggler, Owens rivalry for the Intercontinental that I still remember for some fucking reason, and yeah, so they do have past history, obviously, which they will mention later on in the night. But yeah, we have a whole backstage segment between Bryan and Rowan. Bryan basically says they'll retain the tag titles Extreme Rules. Probably shouldn't have run that down. It's really not that important. But yeah, Woods comments now on the now possible three-way triple threat tag for the tag team titles, and says ultimately New Day becomes 6-time tag team champions. New Day does the whole, Big E does the whole New Day intro. He throws his jacket at Corey. Since on Instagram before SmackDown started, Corey Graves actually posed with Big E's jacket and said that he looks better in it. So that's why I'm guessing that's why Big E threw his jacket at Corey. He slightly missed. I'm pretty sure he got some of him though. It was actually pretty funny. Camera angle showed it as well, so that was good. Now we move on to Big E versus Daniel Bryan. The usual comedy stuff by Big E, or as the New Day in general, especially Big E, the most comedic member of the New Day, if you ask me. No debate, really. He spanks Bryan, all that good stuff. Bryan is weirded out. Of course, we have small bits of Bryan. Great technical ability, obviously. One of the best wrestlers currently. Best wrestlers of all time, to be fair. Just talent-wise, to be fair. He gets fired up after multiple bitch slaps from Bryan. I believe he does 2 of them. So, yeah, Biggie starts becoming more vicious. He starts taking it more serious, basically. And then ultimately, while the referee is distracted, Rowan will actually throw or push Biggie into the ring post. Bryan will take control with the knee plus or the Bukkake knee, and ultimately get the victory like that. So Biggie will lose to Daniel Bryan. Kid Braxton interviews R-Truth backstage, so we're not going to have a 24/7 title segment this episode of SmackDown. Drake Maverick is off in his honeymoon. R-Truth teases that he's going to like join them. It's kind of like sexual innuendo, because he says of how what's better than 2-person honeymoon, and then he says 3. So he basically implies a threesome, obviously. I'm kidding. But yeah, so we're most likely on YouTube. We're gonna get a clip of him crashing the honeymoon. Probably we're getting it right now as I'm saying this. So yeah, we shall see. Can't wait to really see that. Cannot wait to see that on YouTube. It's most likely gonna be on YouTube, as majority of 20% title segments have been outside of Raw and SmackDown episodes, obviously. So yeah, before we go to commercial break, Lex Bliss and Nikki Cross walk in the halls backstage. This is going to be Bliss's only appearance for SmackDown. She says Cross will host Moment of Bliss, of course, with special guest SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley. And so basically, once we get to the segment after the commercial, Bayley tries to cause tension between Cross and Bliss, saying of how Cross is her style shot, and not Bayley. Not Bliss. All that good stuff that Carmella tried to do this past Monday, yesterday on Raw. Bayley says some comments that fire up Cross, basically, and this leads to Cross changing her to a matchup, in which commercial break happens. And then after commercial break, Bayley will defeat Nikki Cross in a didn't really pay attention to the match. I wrote down decent match, but I'm just writing that because I'm assuming they put on a good match. I'm not gonna lie, didn't really pay attention. I didn't pay attention. I saw the cross body by Nikki Cross, and then the ending, and then that's it. So I can't really comment on how well that went. I just didn't pay attention to it. So that's my fault. I did know that Cross did look insanely disappointed after her loss. Like motioning the Bliss that she started and stuff, basically. Looking super sad on the mat. All that good stuff. I'm trying to go by this rapid fire because I'm trying to make this shorter than Raw. Raw was almost a fucking hour review, and I don't want it to be that long. Half an hour, it's good. Anything over that, no. So I'm gonna try fucking be fast with this shit. Where are we up to? Mustafa Ali segment. He sounds like an inspirational speaker. That's the only thing I actually wrote. Solid segment. He'll be the hero for certain people. Stuff like that. All good stuff. I didn't really pay attention. Heard some stuff. It was good. He's a good talker. There you go. Pretty simple. Joe and Kofi segment that has been hyped up for a while now. And now we're now at, I think at this point an hour in, and boy, do we have some stuff to say about this segment. Actually, pretty good, to be fair. As we expected, Joe is great. Kofi is great. So Joe basically puts over Kofi for a short period of time. Kofi takes shots at Joe, saying that he's not as necessary as ruthless, even though he didn't say that word for word, but he's not. He's just a shadow of his former self. Which, to be fair, to say, very, very true. TNA Joe was better. I love how I keep mentioning, for when TNA wrestlers appear, I have to always mention TNA. Don't know why. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that for Styles in the Raw review. But yeah, obviously we weren't mentioning TNA in that segment, but you know, you get the gist. Basically, Joe is not a vicious, or is not as good as he once was, but he's still, you know, vicious when he does stuff, when he gets put in programs, when he gets put in rivalries. He's intense. He's great on the mic, and this segment definitely showed as well. So basically, Joe tries to upset Kofi, mentioning his kids and stuff like that. Kofi does not fall for it. Kofi does not break, surprisingly, because I thought I'll immediately come into blows, and then we see a mean streak of Kofi, which we actually, the commentators say we do once Kofi has shown paradise, but we don't really, to be fair. Kofi starts a Jealous Joe chant for 5-10 seconds. That's something. Joe is seemingly pissed by this point. And Kofi basically taunts Joe, saying how he'll never have a moment like Kofi did at Mania, which to be fair is kind of true. There's not really a way you could top that. Kofi's whole 11-year story arc to finally win the WWE Championship, you can't really top that. even a Rumble win, like, it's 11 years in the making. So you, unless it's gonna be like 20 for someone in the future, like, you can't. Ain't no way you could really top that. 12 years or 11 days or 11 years and 1 day more than that, to be fair. But it's not. It's not really. You can't top that. So that's true. No one can actually top Kofi's moment. I mean, if you ask me. So does Joe never have a moment? Yes. Joe tells Kofi to shake his hand, to like trust him over there. I didn't really pay attention once here. I kind of forgot. But yeah, Joe tells Kofi to shake his hand, but Kofi flips him off instead and heads to Trouble in Paradise to knock off Joe. So the camera angle was shown here to try and block out the middle finger. At the end and for the last second or two, we saw it. But then when I just searched it up quickly to see if people were immediately reacting to it, I searched it up on Google and stuff. Basically, for the other videos I saw it just to hear people's reactions or there. So Joe moved out the way, so we obviously saw it, but then for that moment, they, like, blacked it out, so, yeah, so though they must have edited that, because I don't think we were supposed to see it, because Joe stepped back, to get ready to charge at Kofi, obviously, to run to Trouble Paradise, so, cameramen weren't really too quick in the pants, or unless that was supposed to happen, and we just started off with a camera angle of Joe's head blocking it out there. I don't spend too much time in the segment, so basically, it's gonna be a great rivalry. I kind of hope it lasts past Extreme Rules, even though, people say that they want longer rivalries and stuff. But when they ask for longer rivalries and then they immediately just think from family friendly way says, fine, they immediately just complain about it. Just because it's like, whether if it's boring or even if it's actually, entertaining, people will complain about anything that he does. Which there was a whole lot of comments about the Raw episode. I mean, obviously more good stuff as of late, but, the usual. Though they haters said a whole lot of bad stuff about Raw, even with them improving, saying that they they now want to improve and stuff. I'm not gonna go into a rant. Whatever. So anyway, where are we up to? Great backstage segment with Heavy Machinery, as they are super funny, of course. This is when my pen started to die out, so I had to use a different one. None of you guys care, I know, but still, so I mentioned that. Especially Ozdosovich, he's great. His voice is awesome. Of course, I did a meme on Instagram of him holding both the Universal and WWE Championship, so yeah, if that was to happen in real life, people will riot. No, there'll be some people that look on the bright side for it, including me, maybe. But then again, yeah. Anyway, we got another fucking recap of the Braun and Bobby spot that we got on Raw. I know of how, like, we really are milking this. Maybe if we didn't milk it as much as we did on Raw, because on Raw we showed it like 5, 6, 7, maybe even 8 times in a row. Like 10 minutes after it happened. And then later on in the night we showed it like 2 more times. And now we're 2 hours later. So yeah, basically we've seen this like more than 10 times already. On Raw alone and then on Smackdown. Only saw it twice, luckily enough. So basically, Lashley maintains heat by saying Braun deserved what he got and says next time Braun will not go to a hospital. And I didn't catch what he said. Did he say morgue or to the Lord? I didn't really hear. I should probably actually listen to that before I actually even did this. But Lashley said he was not sent Strowman to the hospital. He was sent him. A person said morgue, but I heard to the Lord. So basically, either Lashley's gonna send Strowman to a morgue or Lashley's gonna kill him. Is basically what I got from that. Didn't really hear it. But yeah. Go on to Apollo Crews taking on Andrade Cien Almas, and I'm still gonna say Cien Almas because Andrade just still feels bland. Just having to say Andrade. So we immediately go into the match. No entrances for none of them. So anyway, Andrade catches Apollo Crews with the basically Judas effect. He just catches him with a vicious knee. I mean, not knee, an elbow to the side of the cheek. So basically the Judas effect by Jericho. I hate that finisher though. Yeah, basically that. Of course, Andrade goes into the ring. Ref is distracted. Selena Vega hurricanrana us. Apollo Crews like she did a Finn Balor a couple months ago by this point. Maybe a month and a half, 2 months ago by this point. Over on Raw. And originally for a Superstar Shake-Up thing. And basically, Apollo's costed the match. Andrade brings him back to the ring. Hammerlock DDT. And the 3 count for Andrade Cien Almas. He picks up the victory. It was a solid quick match. We keep having a whole lot of quick matches because for this, because we're SmackDown Live, obviously, during commercial breaks, we still show the tiny screen for what's happening, sometimes, not all the time, obviously. But yeah, and I believe there was actually a matchup where it continued on after the commercial break, like they probably weren't any pauses, which was kind of surprising, at least I think. I don't remember what match it was, though. Not this one. It was the main event, actually. Like, there's no pauses or anything, unless it had the screen part for the commercials. For the main event, and then whatever. Basically, no 2 out 3 falls matches, no mini gauntlet matches, no elimination tags, none of that gimmick stuff that we casually give away now to do the no wrestling during commercial breaks rule, blah blah blah. Which is good. We didn't get any of that, luckily enough. We get an Black backstage segment of how like he keeps wanting people to knock on his door to challenge him. He says the person that will reveal himself at Extreme Rules. So either Black got Ding Dong ditched, or someone's actually changing. I hope it's Buddy Murphy, actually. Murphy hasn't really been showcased besides once on Smackdown. And there was something related to Mustafa Ali. Can't remember what it was, though. I think it was Mustafa Ali. Something related to him. Or it could also be Bray Wyatt in promotional Raw versus SmackDown stuff. The battle of the 2 most scariest people on Raw and SmackDown, I guess. Really? That'll be pretty dope. So that could also work. Bottom line, as Black, to be fair, I don't want to say my favorite NXT competitor of all time, because obviously that'll probably be like Rollins. But he was my favorite in NXT for a long ass time. His title reign wasn't as long as I would have liked. As a matter of fact, I wish it was like even longer, like maybe even a year. That's kind of pushing it, to be fair. But I did enjoy Black in NXT. Favorite currently is probably Gargano. It was Ciampa for a while, but obviously Ciampa's injured, so for now it's Gargano. For mostly it's probably Adam Cole, though. Which I can see why Cole is also up there for me. Not number 1, though. Number 1's Gargano. Anyway, we just talked about NXT. We're probably not going to do an NXT review, because that's just going to be too much stuff to review, because then I have to do NXT UK and 205 Live. So, yeah. Should probably do those instead of Raw and SmackDown, because Raw takes her fucking hour to write. Took me 8 pages, and this one took me 5.5. Anyway, moving on here. Ember Moon vs. Mandy Rose. Mandy got her shit in. She looked good in the ring. Talent-wise, I mean, that was awkward. Well, to be fair, she does look good. But, talent-wise, wrestling ability-wise, she got her shit in. She did well for a short period of time. And then, obviously, Ember got the victory. Ember hit a Magnum. So, did she do it better than Tessa Blanchard? I don't know. But she hit the Magnum, basically. And followed by the Eclipse. Which you get WWE versus TNA in promotional. And yes, I'm saying TNA, fuck Impact. Again, WWE versus TNA in promotional type shit. Ember Moon versus Tessa Blanchard, that'd be cool. Anyway, so Ember gets the win. Sonya makes, comforts Mandy after. Yeah, nothing too special. That rivalry is over with, I will assume. So yeah, Shelton Benjamin backstage segment. He was asked by, I believe, Kayla Braxton, or unless it was that blonde chick. We didn't see the face, so I don't know. Asked of who he wants or who he thinks will win. Actually, Rose Joe or Kofi. He just looked around for way too fucking long. Looked around, made some funny faces. To be fair, he was probably surprised that he was booked. He's like, holy shit, I'm booked. Remember when Bischoff was Raw General Manager back in 2000 to 2005. He was Intercontinental Champion. Benjamin held the Intercontinental title a couple times. Defeated Triple H on 2 separate occasions. Non-title, obviously. Benjamin never defeated Triple H for the World title. And I believe both those times Benjamin was actually Intercontinental Champion at that time when he defeated Triple H in non-title contests. So yes, he did get pushed in the Bischoff era of Raw. So maybe that could show Benjamin will be accurate, which is good. I really do think that he definitely should deserve the push when he originally returned. Obviously, he was hyped up to return in 2016. If he did and the injury never got to him, then I feel like probably would have actually gotten pushed then. But, it's 2 years ago, so can't really change anything about that. So Head Machinery takes on Dolph Ziggler and Kevin Owens, the new bar that I think until they didn't win the match. So Otis powers Ziggler around for a while. I was on and off during the match. I kept looking and not looking at the match. During the match, I actually was editing the thumbnail and this whole picture that you're just staring at with Kofi holding the WWE title now. So I was editing that occasionally throughout the match. I obviously did stop at some points to actually pay attention to the match, so everything I have run down's what I actually saw. Braun Seals between the New Day and Planet Tag Team Champions. Of course, Bryan and Rowan on the outside, and there was a whole lot of. It was actually pretty intense. Like, the New Day were seeing that visibly upset after the outcome of Big E losing to Bryan earlier, so they maintain that. It's like not like we immediately forget about it. New Day are back to being cheery and happy and stuff like that. No, they're still mad. The Braun suits. Xavier just fucking leaps the New Day announce table and then goes into the regular announce table, launches himself. I believe Bryan, can't remember. Probably was Rowan actually. I don't know. It was intense, to be fair, because how angry the New Day were. So you actually felt it. Well, at least I actually felt it. So that's good. Rowan gets major heat after the Iron Claw bomb through the New Day announce table to Xavier Woods. But before that, he actually knocked over all the fucking pancakes. There's so many pancakes on each tray. 3 trays, and then so many. And a whole lot of them just fell. Like, that's just wasting good pancakes. The New Day wastes pancakes on a fucking daily basis. How dare we cheer these 3 men that waste those pancakes? Kofi wasted them, obviously, earlier on in the Joe segment. How dare they? Anyway, moving on. Where are we up to? Fat Boys, Otis and KO. Otis knows Mitch and Kevin Owens. They have a little scuffle or whatever. Tucker Knight shows impressive athleticism at one point. Otis does the character to Dolph Ziggler later on in the matchup. Big pop. Well, at least for me. Not gonna lie, didn't really pay attention to I don't remember the crowd reaction. I'm pretty sure it's still impressive to see that happen. So then a missed super kick by Ziggler to Dozovich, I believe. I can't remember. He misses it, hits Owens in the face, and then Tucker clotheslines Ziggler over the top of the rope. Ziggler is now gone, and now the compactor to KO, and the victory for Heavy Machinery. They will advance to Extreme Rules, and it will be a triple threat tag with Heavy Machinery taking on the New Day, and of course tag champs Rowan and Daniel Bryan. So there you go. Smackdown tag title picture is actually pretty good now. Hopefully Owens and Ziggler are in a tag team match once again. Hopefully they become like the second bar, like a new version of the bar. Sheamus and Cesaro were awesome. Obviously Sheamus is injured and Cesaro is doing his own heel stuff over on Raw. Once Sheamus returns, I want him to return on SmackDown, be separate from Cesaro, because the bar, they were good. They were very entertaining. I'm probably like the only person in the world that actually never got sick of the bar, even after they kept getting pushed 2 years later, and even after they had the Kofi versus Rollins stuff, which everyone booed, the Raw after Mania. I didn't mind it, to be fair. I didn't mind it. I didn't want to see the titles unify anyway, so they made that save. So yeah, hopefully Ziggler and Owens become the new bar. And anyway, Owens hits a stunner to Ziggler to end off SmackDown. Crowd chant one more time. SmackDown ends before Owens can actually do it one more time. I'm pretty sure Owens did it one more time after SmackDown went off the air. That's usually a whole lot of fun happens when SmackDown goes off the air, or Raw. When shows go off the air in general. You know. Like the 205 Live ring apron. And then we see Roman Reigns and Randy Orton doing some shit. I don't know. That type of shit where we get a dance off when Raw or SmackDown goes off the air. You know, the type of funny shit that we probably saw in like 2014 over there. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so there we go. Owens is a stunner. That's how we end off SmackDown. He curses at one point. I believe he just said goddamn. I'm pretty sure he just said goddamn. And they bleeped out damn, so. Or they silenced it. Unless if Owens said something else, which they didn't catch Corey when he said holy shit on Raw. Which is why he got fined. Because they didn't catch him. Unless Corey wasn't supposed to say that over there. Anyway, so that was it for SmackDown. So now I'm going to rate it 0 to 5. And the polls will be up by this point. To vote it, it'll have different names. So, example, Dave Meltzer actually likes the product. That'll be a 5 out of 5. But by no means do I give a shit about Dave Meltzer. So, yeah. I rate this a 3. Solid 3. Because I feel like a 5 out of 5 would just be like Mania caliber. Nah. Can't really do a Mania caliber thing. I just rate it 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5. 3.2, actually. And we're actually going to redo our rating for Raw. Raw, I rated it like a 4. Maybe a... Yeah, 4.1. Maybe a 3.9 for Raw. It was good. It was very good. Because I don't really want to rate 5-star shows. All the much shows 5 stars. Because then that you guys would just think that I pay attention to too much positives for WWE. Then again, I am going to do that with AEW as well. I really don't point out negatives all that well. I think about everything good about anything, even the shady stuff. Which is why I probably enjoyed the Maria segment on Raw last night. I didn't think it was that bad. It was funny for what it is. So there you go. I rate SmackDown 3 out of 5. The polls would be up. You guys could rate it. I need to come up with like a sarcastic type rating for SmackDown ones. I'll probably use the same one as I did for Raw. So there we go. That's the review. Hopefully this was only half an hour. I hope. Hopefully this wasn't as fucking long as the Raw one. So anyway, thank you all for watching. And I'll catch you on the next video, and goodbye.